Weaponizing religion is a real thing. Many of us have went through it, and it can really affect a lot of areas in your life. Hi, my name is Raquel. Thank you so much for tuning in to Divine Intuitive Guidance and Tarot. I'm going to tell you a story, and then we're going to get into the tarot message for the day. So I ask that you stay with me, stay patient, because it might bless you, and it's probably going to bless a whole lot of other people. Please like it, share it, because it helps to go up in the algorithm, and people need to hear these messages. And plus, it costs you nothing. I thank you so much for your cooperation and support. And please let me know in the comments how this has affected you. All right? Thank you. Weaponizing religion is a serious thing. Many of us have been conditioned. A lot of us that you would call awakened, woke, these terms that have become offensive to many because they've become stereotyped, prostituted, and just downright manipulated in a lot of ways, right? The association with those terms, the phenotypes, the representation. It has led to a lot of spiritual narcissism as well. But anyway, a lot of us that have woken up to what's really going on come from religious backgrounds. I be one of them, very strong religious background. So to get into the story of how religion was weaponized against me, I became a mother at the age of 19. My son used to have febrile seizures. You might ask, what does that mean? When he would go into a fever state of about 103 degrees, right? When he would reach a fever, he would begin to seize. Now, I'm a new mother. Things are hard, but I love my son, right? I was still very happy to have him in my life. But the seizure thing was something to deal with. It had happened a couple times. I've had to have the ambulance pick him up from our house. I was staying with my parents at the time. I think by the time I had my son, not too long after that, my parents began to separate. But at the beginning, my dad was still there. So my son went into a seizure one particular day. And I was working at a pizza parlor that my dad was part owner of. Because of this, he was admitted to the hospital, Providence Hospital here in Michigan. And I had to stay with him for 2 weeks in the hospital. It's very stressful. I'm a single mother. Matter of fact, at this time, I might have even been kicked out of the house. Listen, so much has happened, right? Being a single mother. I've had so many things. And this is why I encourage you to go on this journey with me, because as these stories, as I recollect different stories to share to you, it's going to be quite interesting. But I'm just asking Creator God to help me through this and deliver these messages and give me the words to say. So please bear with me. I believe at this time now, I was put out of the house. Right, because my mother was going through a divorce. So she said, I'm going through a divorce, so you cannot be here. She had become very paranoid. She was always kind of paranoid, but at this point, she was very paranoid. She didn't want me to be able to tell my dad anything, and she didn't want him to have access to certain things. Even if it was justify his stuff, she didn't want me giving it to him, so her solution was to put me out. So my son had a febrile seizure, and he's in the hospital for 2 weeks. Again, very stressful situation. I'm missing out of work. I need money. I'm a single mother. The father of this child is in the wind, honey. He might as well just have been a donor. I should have went to the clinic if that would be the case, but I wasn't looking to be a mom. And something else has popped up about that too, but we'll get into that at a later date. My mom says to me, the Lord said for me to tell you, if you get saved, if you give your life over to him, he will heal your son. But if you don't, I said, so you mean to tell me that God is holding my son hostage, his health hostage, because he's waiting on me to get saved, their ideal of saved. To clarify, I come from a Pentecostal apostolic background, similar to Church of God in Christ, stuff like that. My church would speak in tongues, and, they would catch the Holy Ghost fall over the place and all of that kind of stuff. And it's deep-rooted in fear. The message is deep-rooted in fear, which keeps members returning because they feel like if they return and continue to pay this man, which makes no sense, right? And this is the thing about religion that has always kind of pissed me off. I always knew that if you just be quiet and think, it's a lot of stuff you would realize didn't make any sense. But what they would do is they would further brainwash you by saying, Your thoughts are not God's thoughts, right? So they would always have some kind of other blanket or wool to throw over your eyes to put you into cognitive dissonance, to make you fall back to sleep and be compliant when really it's a hustle. Now, it's going to be people who see this and get pissed off. Quite frankly, my apologies. I don't intend to piss you off, but my content is not for you. My walk is my walk and it's justified. And I'm just carrying out the mission that I'm here to do in this lifetime, that I've tried many times before and was killed for. So this time, I got to do what I got to do. So feel free to click off. So my mom, imagine being a young mother, missing out on work, your son is struggling, you feel powerless, and then your mother comes to tell you that if you don't get saved, sanctified, filled with the Holy Ghost, that your child is just going to be stuck like this. Now, one thing about febrile seizures, kids grow out of it. So he doesn't have this. My son is 19 now. He doesn't have these issues anymore. He stopped having those issues, I want to say by the time he was 4 or 5, that was a done deal. I want to say that. So he did grow out of them, thank goodness. But that just really pissed me off. My mom would do a lot of things like that. I remember wanting a job that I didn't get. And I didn't get it because I had no business being there. It was more of a protection thing. But I was frustrated, right? Because it provided a certain schedule that I needed. It wasn't necessarily about the job. The job was really some bullshit. Like, the environment was bullshit. I didn't resonate with the environment at all, but because it was going to give me the schedule that I thought that I needed, which I did, which is a more lenient schedule being a mother, I wanted this job. And she basically said that until I do what God wants me to do, nothing's going to work out for me. This particular day, I fucking lost it. I was screaming and hollering at her. And she's done a lot of things. And I'm not saying this to make a hate train for my mother, because that's not where the place, I'm not in that place, right? She's where she's at. We're good. It's no issue. But that's just her beliefs and the way that she moves. It was said in ignorance. It really was. And she might not know it, or if she see this, she might say it never happened. Who knows? And I really don't care, but that definitely happened. I would not sit up here, look in this camera, and tell a bald-faced lie like that, even though many people do. There are many liars, and they lie every day. Okay, they lie like their life is dependent on it, but this is not the case. But I've always been one to follow my spirit. I've always known that, I used to have the saying, God doesn't sit up there with a clipboard and check off everything that you do wrong and say, yep, you're going to hell. Never believe that. And I think so many people fail because they look at God outside of them. This spirituality that you see so stigmatized and prostituted and packaged up and sold like it's something external to you is really ridiculous, because spirituality is about the coming into knowledge of oneself and who you are to the core, outside of what you've been told, what you've been brainwashed to believe, to understand that you're interconnected with God, and God can't be any more separated from you than the DNA from the blood running through your veins. God is everything that you look at. That's why God is omnipresent. God isn't a person. God is an infinite intelligence. God is what helps you get up in the morning. It's what the trees are made of, what the wind blows, the water. God is everything. And we make this thing so much more difficult than it is. The spiritual journey is about walking and knowing that you are one with God and coming into knowing of self, and to treat everything with unconditional love and not judge but love. But that do mean don't be no damn fool. If somebody is suspicious or acting crazy, if that spirit your gut is telling you, in some cases you get hard lessons. So you got the warning, but you didn't heed to the warning. And then something happens where you realize, yeah, this motherfucker ain't for me. Get out the way. But that doesn't mean that everything and everybody is the devil. It just means it's not your tribe, because everything has its place in this game, in this simulation. And that don't mean it has a place in your life, though. And that's what you got to learn. It's so many of us that have suffered due to religious conditioning. And I'm glad for a time like this, because it's allowing for people to come forward and share their stories and to no longer be in bondage. Religion tells us to hate ourselves and that we're not good enough. Well, I'm sorry. It tells you that you're a wretch. Let me make that a little bit better. It tells you that you're a wretch. You don't deserve God's love, but He loves you anyway. It leads you to believe that you're inferior and nothing you can ever do is good enough. When you are good enough because you're here, you're justified in your existence. Now, you want to walk in love because that benefits you. That gives you less headaches with less targets on your back. You ain't got to worry about coming out the house and somebody going upside your head or trying to take you up out of here. So your actions do have repercussions, okay? For every action is a reaction. So you have to be careful in the way you move. But that is your punishment. That's where the karma comes in, what you're putting out here. Infinite intelligence is impartial. You're here. You chose to be here. You chose to sharpen your tools. You chose to put a blindfold on and come back to the knowing of you, to go to the finish line. Just lead in love and have the compassion that you want others to have for you. Yes, but my mama did say that. I thought that was nuts. We got to be careful what we're saying. I understand that some of us that are in religion, and I'm not downing religion because I think some people need it. And for those who need it, I say keep on going. Some people need guidelines. Some people, just like you have workers and you have entrepreneurs, people need different things, and we're all different, but we're not a monolith. Everyone's not governed by the same things. Everyone's experience is not the same. We all have taken on different life paths and experiences. So I can share to you my experience, but I can't tell you how to live your life. I can only tell you how I live mine. And if it applies and if it's helpful, by all means, use what is helpful. But when it's not, understand that I'm not you and you're not me. I'm just sharing my story with you. And I hope I wasn't too all over the place. But again, you religious folk, y'all got to stop. Okay? You've got to stop imposing your fear and your beliefs. And this is how you know that the government and religion is all the same. Entertainment, the entertainment industry, religion, and the government are all the same because they all do the same thing. They try to fear the shit out of you and control you so you'll be right where they need you to be. God is not interested in control. God has given you free will. So let no man control you. Let no fear control you. Believe that you're protected. Make sure that you pray. If that's what you want to do, you can say your affirmations, speak to spirit, but all the rest of that stuff, can no man destroy what is indestructible. And that's just it. And one more thing before we get to the tarot message. A Jehovah's Witness came to my house yesterday, and I wasn't in the business of answering the door. Okay, that's that. I ain't had to answer my damn door. Because I am tolerant now, I told them to leave the pamphlet outside, and they did. The pamphlet had a photo of Jesus, but the photo of Jesus was white. Now, to those that are white, I see nothing wrong with your Jesus being white. But if you paid attention to even spiritualists or people that had near-death experiences, when they were met with on the other side what they would consider God, they were always met in a form that would resonate with them. So, with that being said, we're always trying to sell this one-fits-all narrative and force it down people's throat. Also, if you seek, you'll find. You don't need to go out hammering stuff down people's throat. Just like if you're watching this video, I didn't send it to you. You clicked on it because you were seeking it out or it caught your attention in some kind of way and you found it. But I dare not go to your door preaching anything about my beliefs, my experiences. That's not my job. Your job is to find out what you want to know. And when you're intrigued and interested, the information will come to you. It will appear. But religion is anything but peaceful, anything but diplomatic. It's anything but understanding. And it's damn sure not loving. It has caused many wars and it's caused people to hate. Anybody who looks different, talks different, might have a little too much switch in their hip if they're not the right, what perceived to be sex or whatever is going on, it's an issue. And how was that helpful for a world going forward? So I kind of feel like I was all over the place with this message, but at the same time, I feel like it hit where it needed to hit and who it needed to hit. So I love y'all, and please stay tuned for the following message with the tarot reading. Again, let me know how that went. Let me know what resonated with you in the comments. I appreciate you. Make sure you like, share, and subscribe. All right, now to the tarot portion. How are y'all doing? Happy Tuesday. Sorry, it's been 6 days since my last one. Today is March 19, 2024. I'm sorry for any of the delays, you guys. I try to do tarot. I try to do these videos when I'm really am led to give a message. I apologize. I am very mechanical about my things, right? I'm really dedicated. When I was doing more entertainment news and different content, I was a lot more repetitive. But I'm very genuine with this. Not that I was disingenuous with that, but that was more content to talk about. And because you're just talking about what's going on. This, I feel like if I'm not led to do it, I don't just do it just to do it. I have been asking my spirit team and creator, help me get the messages that these people need to hear. One card has come out already. We start this thing off with Soul Truth card. Again, thank you for tuning in to Divine Intuitive Guidance and Tarot with your girl, Racqi. I appreciate your support. Go ahead and like, share. Make sure you comment. Let me know how this resonates with you, okay? And remember, if you donate, I appreciate it. It's just optional. This ain't church. Oh, boy, 3 came out. All right. We're getting off to a good start. The first card that came out, it says, where can I create more space? See this? Where can I create more space? Instead of filling yourself up with busy work and things to do, create more sacred space in your schedule. In your home, your mind, your lungs, in your heart, take time to just be. Do a clutter detox for your schedule, home, and innermost self. Make space. Clarity will come. Wow, that is so powerful. Be intentional. Be intentional. Being intentional, being purposeful, being present, taking time out for self, enjoying what you have going on now, gratitude. Just to sit in quiet and gratitude and just take time and space. It allows God to speak. It allows spirit to go. Look at that. I got a thumbs down. Now listen. I'm glad that happened. Interruption. I'm glad that happened because I told y'all I wasn't doing that. I told y'all I wasn't doing that. And I wouldn't have gave myself a thumbs down. Now, I don't know what that was about, but we're going to keep moving. That gave me chills. Okay? I don't know what that was about, but I'm going to leave that in this video so I didn't make it up. You will see different affirmations and stuff like that happen in my video. I don't know what that thumbs down was about. That card popped up. It makes sense. So, I don't know, but we're going to keep going. That's some different stuff. Am I on the right path? Am I on the right path? Sometimes we second guess what we are doing. We lose trust in the process and question if we are even on the right path at all. Know this. You are on the right path. Keep going. Keep believing. Keep remembering that you made a soul contract that you're currently fulfilling in every area of your life. Even if you can't see it, that doesn't mean it's not real. Today's soul action. Today's search for all the ways you are aligned with your soul's purpose. The signs will appear. Let this newfound trust fuel your next steps. Here's another thing too. You might still be questioning yourself if that message came through. If this is for you, you still might be saying, well, how do I really know though? I need some kind of confirmation. Well, is what you're doing giving you grief? If it's giving you grief, if it's uneasy, unpleasant, it doesn't align with your morals, your values and stuff like that, this is how you know to let it go. I'll give you a prime time example. I was doing a podcast that I have said I can't do. I will no longer do. It was for a friend. An incident occurred. things were said that I went off. I take full responsibility of saying that I have never even went in like that on my own show. I really like to be objective. I really like to be fair. And even though what I was saying, I didn't make it up, but it's one of those things that everything doesn't need to be said. I was under the influence. I try not to. I will have a drink. I'm not going to sit up here and lie and say I don't drink. I'm not a drinker. There have been many times, and when I say many, I would say at least 4 times when I was younger that I had overdrank because it was free or whatever the circumstances might be, right? It's going to be free 9 times out of 10, honey, because I ain't about to pay for no bunch of drinks. I'm telling you how I roll, and I've always been. Drinking is not really my thing. But anyway, I come out of character. They call alcohol spirits, and it can move me in some ways that I just don't like. And it's not always violence, it's various ways. But in this circumstance, it caused me to say some things that popped in my head that should have stayed in my head with no filter, and it could potentially been very hurtful. And this was on camera. Now, first of all, it's so ridiculous. Let me tell you how good that Creator God is. It's so ridiculous. I had forgotten I said it. Matter of fact, I don't even think I realized I said it when I was leaving to go home. Forgot all about it. But Creator God is so good that the person that was editing the film, it wasn't important to them, right? Because they didn't know who this person was. But that wasn't a point. God still spoke to them and let the person that was over the show, let them know that I had kind of went in. And the person over the show went and told me about it. So I went and listened, and I was totally mortified. You got to do something about this. You got to take this down. Like, this is not cool. I was wrong for saying that. I took full responsibility, whatever. Anyway, it finally got rectified, but feet were dragged and potential damage could have happened, and I just felt like it wasn't addressed in a proper time. I'm grateful that it was addressed, but I believe it needed to happen because it needed to show me to align myself with people that are on the same tip, that share the same values and same interests. And this doesn't make this person a bad person. I won't say that. We go back, way back, right? But I move differently. I will just say that. I move differently. And my interest is not in gossip and being messy. That's not my interest. I've never wanted to be messy. And that's a good reason why I kind of stepped away from that, because people want to be messy. It gets views. I'm just not into that. I'm not into that at all. So I said all that and shared that with you to say that did not resonate with me. It did not feel good. Therefore, I know I should not be in it. So if you're not getting those feelings, then you know that you're on the right path. If you're in something that feels good, it makes you light up. It gives you wind, It puts gas in your car, metaphorically. It puts wind underneath your wings, then you know you're on the right path. If it starts feeling bad, get the hell on. Okay? Our next card. How can I be more flexible right now? How can I be more flexible right now? What are you trying to control? Maybe it's time to let go. Let love move through you today and trust the outcome will be for your highest good. Today's soul action. Remind yourself all day long that you are safe, that life is happening for you, and that you are not alone. Then do some yoga. So sometimes we gotta let go and let God, right? Isn't that the same? Let go and let God. Stop trying to control everything. You've done all you can do. You're moving with intention. The component in some of this is letting Creator God and the universe do its job. Letting your spirit team do its job. Letting your ancestors do their jobs. You know what I'm saying? Your spirit guides. Let the spirit world that's on your side do their jobs and let it go. As long as you put in. Now, I wouldn't say just lay in your bed all day and just expect a miracle, honey. That's nonsense. I would never say that. But if you're doing the work, if you're setting the intention, don't drive yourself crazy. You got to let some go. You can't control it. And you got to be open. Allow the universe to surprise you. If you control it and it doesn't come out the way you want, then you are mad. No. Allow for some room. And then go and find something to do. Enjoy yourself. Watch a movie. Go to the movies. Go to the fair. Go to bingo night. Go roller skate. Go do something. Have a barbecue. Do something of enjoyment. But let go and let God, please. All right. Let's see what spirit messages we have. And then we're going to get to the tarot cards. And before we close out, okay? Okay, we had 3. All right, we had 3 cards jump out of this. Don't allow anyone to abuse your power or take it away from you. Oh my God, right? Remember the message I was just talking about? Don't allow anyone to abuse your power or take it away from you. Remember, you will be treated how you allow others to treat you. Show them that you value yourself far too much to settle for anything less than you deserve. So what I was just talking about, that podcast and that incident, that's my people, but I like to move a certain way. I like to be regarded a certain way. If I voice my concern instantly, I feel like you should take it seriously and attend to it. And I feel like when people are within your field, you look out for them, you cover them, you know, when they're falling, because we're not perfect per se, right? And what I mean by we are perfectly made and we're perfect in the eyes of Creator. However, we're going to do some things that won't necessarily be favorable all the time viewed by the public. So when those things happen, when you do something that might not be favorable or could be offensive to others, people around you should cover you. And if they're not rushing to do that, if you have to tell them and then even then they drag their feet, no, I got to teach you how to treat me and I'm going to walk away. So I'm going to walk away. So that was confirmation. If your mindset is fixed, try to free yourself from that and rise above it. Don't place limitations on what you think you can achieve. Don't stand in your own way. Allow yourself to flourish in all ways. Welcome abundance in all forms into your life. Didn't I just say that? Didn't I say that? Allow the universe and Creator God to have room to give you some blessings. Allow some room. Don't be so fixed. Because if it don't come just the way you saw it, then you all upset. Allow God to work. Last spirit message or from the oracle cards. Keep moving forward, even if you are unsure of your next step or where it may take you. Trust that you are walking the path you are meant to walk. Excuse me. Remember, we are walking it with you. Trust yourself more. All right. Somebody definitely needed to hear that. Okay, somebody definitely needed to hear that. Let me get out my African goddess cards. Okay, Spirit, what you got for us today? Messages have been powerful. The first card that came out was surrender. What were we just saying? You got to let go and let God. You got to surrender to the energies. You got to surrender to the work that you put in. You got to surrender to your faith. You got to know that you have planted the seeds that's going to yield a garden. Okay, you might be expecting certain maybe your flowers, you expected them to be yay high, but they come out to be this high because you have planted so much. You have more of an abundance than you expected. Allow for God and the universe to work. You've got to surrender. You have to surrender to that, okay? You see that? Surrender. Speak up. Speak up. If something's going on that you are not favorable about, speak up. But on the other hand, if there's a story that you've got to say, that you've got to tell, if something's being placed on your heart, speak up and say it. You see how she's standing proudly? She's got some fruit here. She's got a basket of goodies that she can give to the world. Through her emotions and through the things that she has been through, the message will be received. It will land how it needs to land. But either way, if you are the one who's got something going on, you need to speak up for yourself, because people aren't valuing you the way that they should be. People aren't treating you right. Or if God is putting a message on your heart, you got to come on here and stand proudly. Stand in your power. This glare is really something. Stand in your power and speak up. Because look, you got the good juju card. The spirit is behind you. God, Creator God, your spirit team, your ancestors, your guardian angels, all your people, your protection team, they are behind you. Your spirit guides, they are behind you. Okay, you got good juju. Move forward in good faith and in confidence, okay? See? She's got a snake around her neck. She's not worried about that snake. She's not worried about things that people are trying to throw at her, because she knows she is protected. She knows she's protected. All her goodies and stuff are up here on display that she has harvested, okay? She's got good juju going on. You do. You are going through an awakening. More messages are coming through. You've been feeling it in your emotions. It's been giving you life. It's been waking you up. The spirit is behind you. You see those animals? The spirit moves all things. It's behind you. It is speaking. Listen to the rivers of life that is flowing through you. Okay, you are awakening to further knowledge and further insight. Be open to that and stand proudly in it, because you're worthy. See this worthiness card? You're worthy. Act like you're worthy. You see how she's proud? Oh, she's standing up and standing out. That's how you gotta be. See this? You're worthy. You see this? 4 + 1 is 5. Change. Stand in your worthiness so change can happen. You are worthy. Know that you are worthy so change can happen. Because right now, living in scarcity, living in scarcity can burn your house down. Living in scarcity can tear your world apart. See, it's almost as if she's in 2 different worlds. She can go either way. She can go either way, but the scarcity kind of holds you in the middle. It has you paralyzed, not moving. All right, one more deck to go, and then we closing out. Got the 10 of baskets. Okay, emotional fulfillment. Time to rest and be secure. Emotional fulfillment. These people, they are here. They are happy. They are present. They are eating. They are drinking of wine. They are fulfilled in their emotional abundance. That's coming for you. But you got to stand up in your worthiness. Know that you're worthy. You've got good juju. Know that the spirit is behind you. Right here, we've got 9 of baskets. Okay, it might be time for you and your significant other to take a trip. It might be time for y'all to go somewhere to relax and reflect on the gratitude and to reflect and have gratitude for all the things that you have been blessed with and given. Okay. Here we got Daughter of Wands. Still taking a trip to inspire some creativity. Okay, to get new thoughts, new missions. Okay. It's time for you to rule. Got the Emperor card. It's time for you to rule and stand in your authority and the things that you have been given and the things that's been put upon your heart, your mission. It's time to stand in it. Okay? Remember, though, to have temperance and remain balanced. You want to be balanced in between what you are doing. You're working and you're resting. And making sure you have time for family and making sure that you're taking care of self, okay? You got to be able to balance things. You don't want to be overdoing it and lead to burnout, okay? We're putting an end. You got the Death card. We're putting an end to this stinking thinking. We're putting an end to this feeling that we're not worthy, to this feeling that we're not blessed, to these feelings that why is it happening for them and not for me? That is coming to an end. It's time to step into your childhood, your childlike ways. Be a child, and what I'm saying is not to be childish and immature and problematic, but to step into the energy that's open and optimistic and looking for the next adventure. Okay? Because here we have the money of coins, honey. It's time to get your coins, okay? You got all the coins. You holding the coins, okay? Hey, you see this shielding? Ain't nothing about to come in between her and her coins, okay? She is protected. She's suiting and booting it up for her coins, okay? I hope you enjoyed this message. Again, thank you so much for tuning in to Divine Intuitive Guidance and Tarot with your girl, Racqi. Feel free to donate. If you donate, no biggie. It's not mandatory, honey. We're not taking tithes. Remember, you can book a reading with me at divineintuitiveguidance@gmail.com. That's divineintuitiveguidance@gmail.com, or visit my website at RacqiRoadTV.com. That's RacqiRoadTV.com. Hey, you now, don't forget, and join my Patreon. It is free. It is totally free, where you can keep up with me. It ties everything together like my website too. And then there will be some things that
cost, but if you're not interested in that, you don't have to worry about that. The free, you know what I always say, free is for me. Also, I have a podcast, Candid Stories of My Soul podcast. It's a spiritual podcast. People with all type of abilities, gifts, and stories that have come through and told their story. Powerful. Make sure you check that out. All the links to all of this stuff is under the video, and you can click on that. Again, I thank you so much. Let me know how this message has resonated with you in the comments. Please like, comment, and share. It really helps to go up an algorithm so somebody else can see it. I appreciate y'all for sticking with me. Toodaloo! I'm out of here, y'all. I love you. Bye-bye.